Hello, and welcome to Switchpoint. Today is a day of redemption, acceptance, and returning to the scene of a crime. The crime is murder. Murder on Titanfall Lane. For some personal history, I picked up Titanfall on Super Sale about a year after it came out on Xbox 360, and I was immediately in love. I played it for a good long while until I got a PS4, and showed up at GameStop day one on October 28th, 2016 for the sequel. Full stop, Titanfall 2 is one of the best shooters of the 21st century. It's slick, fast, and addicting. I played that game so damn much across PS4 and Xbox One, it's kind of disgusting, and that was just the multiplayer. The campaign was top of its class, perfectly paced, and a true gem. 2016 was a pretty solid year for shooters looking back, but Titanfall 2 was the easy top dog. And of course, EA knew that. Their way of celebrating, of course, was to never touch the series again. Titanfall 2 didn't impress sales-wise, because EA was a bunch of geniuses who released it the literal week between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and threw the game to the side in response to their self-burial. Respawn, of course, continue working on other stuff, with their next big project being 2019's fantastic Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and their eventual sequel in 2023. No first-person shooters, of course, because EA hates me, but they're still going strong. However, I'm actually wrong. While 2016 was the year EA self-immolated, 2017 was the year of reckoning. It's an absurdly good year in games, but the real success story came out of nowhere with September's Fortnite. When the Battle Royale mode dropped for free, it was pretty damn popular and a solid competitor to the more realistic PUBG. But in mere months, it completely took over. Now, it's the biggest game on the planet. And I mean, who could argue with it? What other game can I hit clips on kids with Alan Wake before playing the Fredbear experience? None, of course. Everyone was ready to get in on the Battle Royale scene, and only 2 games were able to stay competitive. One being Call of Duty's Warzone from 2020, and the other? Apex Legends, developed by Respawn Entertainment and released in early 2019. A spin-off of the aforementioned Titanfall, it's the only shooter left from Respawn, and was EA's major shooter as Battlefield hit an all-time low. However, times have changed, and we're starting to get back in the groove with competitive shooters again, namely with the fantastic Battlefield 6. So it makes me wonder, especially with the recent Switch 2 release, is Apex Legends still worth playing nearly 7 years after release? Well, let's find out. So just to let you know ahead of time, I haven't played this game since like maybe 2020, so I'm probably gonna suck ass at this. Please don't make fun of me too much. I'm sensitive. In fact, because of that, I'm going to the tutorial first. Here we get a hold of our controls, guns, the core mechanics, and some of the different characters. The game controls just like you expect, and it feels pretty damn great. Out of the box, Apex has gyro mode turned on, but unlike some other games, it's on all the time, not just when you aim down sights. I was unsure of this at first, but I actually came around on it. It's real nice. It's not too sensitive, meaning you won't whip around the screen with it accidentally. It's a big help, honestly. Apex also supports mouse mode, but I found it to not work like I want it to. It works like Metroid, where you can turn a Joy-Con to its side to turn it on automatically. But if you pick up the Joy-Con to whip the mouse, it actually swaps back to the right stick for aiming, meaning you have to put it back down and jiggle it a little bit to come back. You can change it to where it only uses mouse mode, which does work, but honestly, Apex is such an intense game with pretty much every button in use. So the mouse mode just didn't work out for me. It may work good for you, but once again, I'm going pro controller mode here. You can't take the controller out of the gamer. Now, Apex Legends is a Battle Royale game at its core, but with elements of a hero shooter as well. An open secret of mine is that while I'm not huge on Battle Royale games, I straight don't like hero shooters. I never cared for Overwatch or Paladins, and I really didn't like the stint Call of Duty had with it. Thankfully, Apex is pretty laid back. Your characters have passive and standard abilities, as well as an ultimate if you get your bar filled all the way. However, Apex does the smart thing by making the gunplay the star of the show, not the characters. And I can confirm that Respawn did not lose their flair. Shooting feels great. The guns feel heavy and powerful, and there's plenty of variety with types of guns. Light, heavy, sniper, shotgun, and energy, with plenty of different weapons within those types. I tended to lean towards light and energy weapons mainly, but of course, the art of the Battle Royale is working with what you've got and looting the poor bastard you gunned down to oblivion. At the end of the day, the abilities help, but they're not the end-all be-all. You can't just use an ability to one-hit kill guys, they're there to help, and that's great. Whether it be a gas emitter, grappling hook, making a decoy of yourself, or a pounce, the abilities get your enemies on their heels, but you can still easily lose by being outplayed. Thank God, if you ask me. I honestly didn't use my abilities much, as I just like blasting fools, but they are a decent addition. One big difference in the structure of the game is how quick matches go. In your usual BR, it's 100 or so dudes dropped in, either by themselves or in squads, in one big-ass map. Apex operates the same way, but with 60 players in groups of 3. The fire ring that shrinks the map over time also gets smaller faster, so your average Apex match can end pretty quick. The other thing that sets Apex apart, at least when it was new, was mobility. Now, sadly, we don't have any more wall running or mechs from the parent series, but Apex still keeps in super sliding as well as mantling, so you can run up a wall to mantle big buildings, and with a good timing of the slide, you can really zoom across the field to get the jump. It makes sense not having some of the wall running, as it would make an even more hectic game of Battle Royale, but I can't help but feel deep down that they were a bunch of cowards. I want to go berserk, dude. Let me. Now, sadly, one issue I noticed during my playtime is that queues can take a decent amount of time, especially when trying to queue up straight from another match. Motherfucker needs to hurry up, get some damn wires plugged in. I want to play! Apex so far is really proving itself. The gameplay feels damn good, but my issue deep down is that I'm still just not a big Battle Royale guy. I like the movie, that's all good, but the games tend to have a little bit too much dead air at points, and even with the smaller field of play and faster movement, it's still there. Pacing is better than your good old Fort, but it's not much better. I was worried about this deep down, as someone who just prefers a deathmatch, but thankfully, Apex has got me covered. Not only do you have unranked and ranked Battle Royale modes, you also have a rotating set of standard multiplayer modes like Team Deathmatch, Control, aka Conquest, and my dear old gun game, now known as Gun Run. No free-for-all as far as I can tell, but this is where I'm at home. Straight up, I've been having a goddamn blast with these modes. TDM is your typical team deathmatch, with preset classes to choose from, no custom classes here, but the small and dense maps make it a great time. Control is a quicker take on something like King of the Hill, as your score, gained by capturing points on the map, accumulate quicker than something like Battlefield's Conquest or COD's Domination, so matches only last like 15 or so minutes. Again, I really appreciate this. I love Conquest deep down, but matches are a real commitment. Having an alternative that's still fun and short is perfect. And then, of course, the GOATs. Gun Run is fucking awesome. You get placed into a team of 3 and you go against 3 other teams, where every kill you get changes your gun, and the first team to get 25 kills wins. Every game with this mode rules, and Apex is no different. I'd play this mode all the time if I could, but one weird decision is that the mode these are within, Mixtape, rotates game types every 30 minutes or so. Now, I do like that on paper. You're always playing a new mode, so the game stays fresh. But sometimes I just want to play TDM, not Control. I wish there was another mode where you could just choose what you want to play. But ultimately, I can live. What I cannot live with, however, is the monetization. Now, it makes sense there is some here. Apex Legends is completely free to play, no questions asked. However, out of the box, over half of the characters are locked. In fact, when I first played it, I only ended up unlocking one character before stepping away to play something else. Thankfully, I had some credits left over for whatever reason, and after playing some matches, I did unlock another character, this fucking edgelord. However, if you wanted to play as some of the real manly men, spiffy girls, or William fucking Knight,
there is no such thing as a coincidence.
You gotta earn your way to it. Same thing for skins, since unless you want to straight up pay money for them, you either have to grind for credits or pull them from Apex packs, aka loot boxes. That I can understand more, but it's clear that deep down, EA is still EA. Oh, and of course we have battle passes, because no multiplayer game can live without one. What a joyous addition. Is it as bad as something like Skate, or in the case of another eventually made free-to-play shooter, Rainbow Six Siege? No, thank God, but I still fucking hate it. Give Fortnite credit, at least all of the cosmetics are exactly that. Cosmetics. Apex's characters have more personality and different abilities, and you're guaranteed to see cool characters with cool abilities that you just can't get to play as out of the box. You have to work for it. Thanks, Electronic Farts. You really know how to make me swoon. Swoon for the fucking toilet. Now for the port itself. Apex was released on Switch 1 a long while ago and was pretty well known for being, well, not good. And I can confirm that Iron Galaxy did a pretty damn good job porting the game to the new machine. While it does get pretty framey while dropping in, the game is a mostly clean 60 frames per second and looks pretty solid. It gets the job done well, and I can't complain here. It's of course not going to replace your PS5 or PC versions, but it's a good version. Sure takes up some storage though. Sheesh. Let me be blunt. I didn't really expect to enjoy this game much when I decided to come back to it for this video. When I played Apex in 2019, I stuck with it for a few good months, but I fell off pretty hard after not getting to play as who I wanted to, and also just because, well, I wanted to wait for Titanfall 3. Nearly 7 years later, and we're still no closer to the third mech game of my dreams. Though, I think without that thought deep in my head, I'm able to enjoy Apex more for what it is. While it still clearly doesn't fill that void in my heart, and the free-to-play bullshit still stinks deep, Apex Legends is really goddamn fun at its best. The Battle Royale mode is solid, but the mixtape modes are the true reigning champion. The Switch 2 is still lacking in competitive shooters, but Apex is honestly a good fill for my appetite. Because of that, I'm giving Apex Legends, in its current state, a thumbs up. It's a solid port of a fun game, and with the ultimate cheat code of being free to play, there's no harm in trying it out. However, I can't end this video normally. It's a shooter. You think I can say goodbye without a badass montage? Well, I aim to please. Throw on the tunes, Big Papa.